Okay, I'm sorry for the glitch. Let's continue from here. So we got 14 participants. I think 5 more are missing. So if you have access to your friends, you can tell them that we have restarted. Okay. I'm sorry again for the glitch here. But can you hear me right now, or can you hear me fine? Yeah, please let me know if you can hear me fine.
Sir, perfect.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Okay, so where were we? We were actually working on this modeling process. So, okay, and we want to fit these points and using some polynomials. Okay, so if I type here simply FIT, and you see, like, then if I type fit, then there's too many options. So fit, exponential growth, implicit, line, and so many options like logarithmic fit, logistic, and polynomial. So this is what we want basically. Fit polynomials and a list of points and the degree of polynomial. And again, you know, they use polynomials because the polynomials are the well-behaved function, and if the polynomials they can represent our function, then we can do so many interesting things without any much problem. Okay, I got some messages here. Let me see. Okay, perfect. Okay, so as you can see here, fit poly. Let me also extend this guy a bit further. So it says list of point, and then we have degree of polynomial. So let's understand what is this. So list of points, you know, these are all these points, C, D, and so on. Of course, I can also type C, comma, D, comma, and so on, but I have already here defined the list of points as list P. So I will simply click here and I will just write here list P. Okay, LISTP. So this is actually, I have defined this already here, you know, in the previous cell, as you can see. Now we have let me put comma, and we have a degree of polynomial. So the degree of polynomial mean like, is it going to be, sorry, what happens? Type again. So fit poly, and we have list of points, which is list P, and the degree of polynomial, you know, since I don't know right now if it is going to be a quadratic. Of course, I know for sure it's not going to be quadratic, but is it going to be fourth, cubic, or quartic, or quintic, or maybe higher power? So let me simply write here n. So when I click or type n here, the GeoGebra automatically create a slide. It's like a variable, so I can change the variables from 1 to 10 or 12, or like depending on the degree I want. Right again. So fit poly and list P. And if we go to the degree of polynomial, let's call it P. Okay. Should be the slide. Wait a second. Okay, now. Okay, let me first define this the degree of polynomial. Let's call it n, and n varies from let's say from 1 to 12 maybe until the 12th power, and with a step of 1. Okay, so this is our degree of the polynomial. I'm going to use it. Okay, so as you can see here, if I move this slide, the values changes. Okay, it doesn't change. Let me click here. It should be starting from 1 until let's say 12, and it's step 1. Yeah, now I think it will be. You see, the n is going from 5, 6, 7, and 8, and so on. So now let me write here fit poly, and list of points and degree of polynomial. So list of point is list P, and degree of polynomial is n. Let's enter, and now you can see they have very nice. Sorry, delete this point, and yeah. Actually, let me start from here, because this is also going to show you how powerful the GeoGebra is and to understand the concepts in mathematics. So you can see, if the n is 1, that means we are using the straight line. And as you can see very clearly, the straight line doesn't make sense here because it doesn't go through all the points. So let me change it to maybe n equals 2. Maybe it's a parabola, but again, it doesn't make sense. Should zoom in a bit. And yeah. So let me, if I change it, let me make it 3. Yeah, a bit better. Even 4. Yeah, 4 is even better, but still I have some gaps. Let me make it 5. I think it seems perfect. I see. Let's continue maybe. 6, the same thing. 5 and 6 are the same thing. So by the way, 5 and 6 are same. You should always choose the lower points, because if you have a lower power, then your computer would take less processing power. Okay. But let's continue. Maybe let's see if we can have even further better option. Okay, 7. Maybe 7 seems even much better. Let's say 8, or even 8. I think 8 seems like a perfect option. Okay, so let's take 8 like this. And since this is a polynomial, as you can see here, this is the coefficient, something like this. Yeah, the coefficients are zeros for most of them. Actually, it shows 0 is because I think I have the number of decimal points after like the decimal places. I think it's 2 or 3, so I can change from the setting. But there is still, if you write if you copy and paste, you will still see it's going to be 0.00159, something like this. Okay, let me define another function, because I only want the function starting from x. So starting from the point C until point n. So let me here let me define a second function, which is f here, and the start value is going to be the point C, but the x value of point C. And if I want to find the x value of point C, I will write here x and then C like this, and then the n value of the function should be the x value of the point n. So I will write here x of n. And now I have this, as you can see here, this red curve. Let me turn this off. So we have got this curve basically. So we did all these things just to get this nice and smooth curve. And now I'm going to rotate this on the x-axis. Is that clear until now? What is happening? Okay, so let's try to rotate, or let's try to find out the surface. If I simply write here surface, S-U-R-F-A-C-E, sorry. Yeah, surface and this one, yeah. So we discussed this thing already. So surface, curve, angle, and line. So the curve actually, this curve is this curve which we have already found it, and this is given by g of x, yeah. So I will simply write here g, and the angle actually, let's make the angle. We want to rotate the from 0 to 360 degree. So let me create another slide for this. So let's call it maybe q. So the q is the angle, because I did not define the angle right now. I will change I want to create the slide or the variable as the angle. And the line actually is going to be x-axis. So if I put here, type here x and then a and then x like this. And I have this actually this kind of surface. As you can see here, it also gives you a nice formulation in the matrix notation, but don't bother with this thing. If I change this actually the value of q, we see this curve going to be rotating on as the x-axis as the reference. But as you can see here, once I move this up and down, I don't see any movement or anything. And can you guess the reason why I don't see the curve is being rotated, or I don't see any surface of this curve? What could be the reason? So it is because this plane is a two-dimensional plane, and once you find a surface, the surface is a 3D element, so it cannot show you. And for that, actually, I need to activate the 3D calculator. So I can simply go to this 3 dots here, and I will click on 3D graphics. And here I have very nice looking here. Let me adjust the window. Of course, you can also adjust the window like this. Let me make it smaller and like this, yeah. Okay, I should be able to see the curve. Where is the curve? These there are no points. Let me change this to for y from 0 to 360 degree or 2 pi maybe. And with a step of 0.2. Okay, for some reason I am unable to see the curve here. I should be able to see it. So yes. I think your voice is breaking up. I cannot hear you. Okay, you should be able to see some kind of 3D thing here, which some reason I don't see it here. Maybe it's the setting or. Okay, so to find the volume, let me actually rotate this curve. But once if it is a surface, I can still should be able to see the surface. But before we do that, let's try to find out the volume in this case. To find the volume, if you see in the previous GeoGebra slide where we discussed how to find the volume of a curve, we have to use this formula pi r squared and dx. So I can simply use this same idea here. Let me write here integral. And the function, the start value, and the x value. So in this case, the function is g of x. So the g was the function, this polynomial. So I have to write here pi r squared or pi times the function squared. So pi, I will write here pi times function was g, so g squared. And the start value is of course the x value of the coordinate c. So x of c, and the n value is going to be the x of point n, like this, and there you go. So the surface area is actually something like this, 462,912 units square. So basically, since if you know the length of your vase, let's say it's 180 something, maybe if it is in centimeters, so then this is going to be the area or the volume of the vase or the object in the centimeter square. Let me I cannot still see the function. I should be able to see the rotation here. You can see it. Okay, let me move on. Yeah, what time it is? It's already 5:20. So, but you get the idea how you can make a model, and to see the model in 3D, you have to use this 3D object and like 3D plane and so on. Let me also try one more thing before rotate object, angle, and axis rotation. So the object is G in our case, and the angle is going to be Q, and the axis of rotation is X axis. Yeah? And see if I can see anything here. Oh, no problem. I think if you just try this again, and you might be able to find. You can of course approach me once the session is finished, and I can fix this this problem. But I think you get the idea how this works, how we can do the mathematical modeling. Let me close this actually, or even make it smaller. And yeah, by the way, this red thing, it gives us the volume of the thing in terms of the curve. Something else. Okay, so let's move on because we don't have much time left. And yeah, where were we? So this is how we find the surface of revolution and so on. And as I told you in the beginning of the session, that we are also going to explore a couple of more tools to assist you, to help you learn mathematics and other subjects. So one of the tools maybe is Wolfram language. Maybe you might have heard of Mathematica or actually MATLAB. But MATLAB, I think MATLAB is quite famous, but Mathematica is not that much famous. But I really recommend this And they also offer you some free tools to assist you and understand the concept. Let's have a quick discussion on how we can use Wolfram services to help us understand calculus better. Okay, so there is my window. Give a second. Okay, sure. Yeah, so just give me a second. I just want to connect. Use that. Yeah, I think now you can see. So if you simply go to the wolfram.com, actually, let me show you. Wolfram.com, and so of course, this Wolfram is a kind of a programming language, but they offer a lot of services. What we are actually going to explore is Wolfram Alpha, and also maybe the programming lab if you have time. So I mean, the Wolfram offers lots of these different tools, but most of them they are paid. You have to spend money, especially Mathematica. This I think is $200 or something. But let's try to explore some Wolfram Alpha like this one. So if you simply type Wolfram Alpha on the wolframalpha.com, so you are going to land up on this page. So if you simply type here find the derivative or integrate x to the power 3, it will give you the answer. It can solve anything, like all the mathematical problems. And the good thing about this is that it also gives you a nice curve like this, and you can also find the area under the curve. So area, maybe even you can find the area between different curves. Let's say this thing, and it also gives you the numerical answer, and it also gives you a nice graph. You can of course copy this graph and save as, and you can also use it for some purpose, for your assignment and so on. So it can do whatever, all the mathematical or the calculation for you. And if you somehow if you want a step-by-step solution, you have to maybe buy their services, which is I think $4 per month. But even without them, there are so many interesting things you can do on Wolfram Alpha. So you can of course integrate. You can find the area between the curve. You can also differentiate if you simply type differentiate. And the good thing about this thing is that you don't have to know the programming language. You can simply use the word in English. It's a differentiation of cos x cubed minus sin x cubed, sine square x, and let's say from x equals 3 to x equals 9, or yeah. So it can also give you the I cannot find differentiate. Sorry, my mistake. It has to be at a particular point maybe. Yeah. But you see actually, let me say at x equals 4. So it can also give you the value of the derivative at some particular point. Okay, and it can also make a very nice curve. So you see this point is the answer. Okay, it can also do a lot of other things. For example, it can also play a sound. If you want to explore sine wave, how you can hear. So if you simply type right here, play, let's say 440 Hertz, and if you enter, then you can also get to know that you can also play this sound somehow. Is there? Yeah, play sound. So maybe if you're using a headphone, I would recommend you to maybe take it out. It might be a bit disturbing or annoying. Let me play this for you. Sorry. Yeah. So you can also play this kind of thing. Yeah, so you can do so many things with this Wolfram Alpha and so on. But let me not go for the Pro version. By the way, let me close this thing. And for example, if you want to also convert any text into any kind of Morse code, or if you're doing cryptography, you can also use this thing. So for example, if I simply write here, I like calculus in Morse code. And by the way, this service is free. You know, just if you want to use the basic services, it's totally free. So this is again a Morse code, which is quite helpful. You know, if you want to encrypt your message, so you can also use this Wolfram Alpha for your purposes. Even if you're doing some mathematics or physics, you know, let's say if you simply write here particle in a box, you know, particle in a box in 3D. This is actually a very basic fundamental question in quantum mechanics. So it can also gives you all the information and all the formulas and so on. Of course, depending on how deep you want to go, you can also explore this thing. Actually, let me just also tell you, you know, it can also, it's not only for the science and mathematics, it can also help you in English. So for example, if you write here words that, for example, rhyme with demand, for example. So it will give you a list of words which rhymes or which has the same pronunciation as demand. So demand, band, and canned, and command, and disband, and left hand. So maybe if you're into poetry and something, you can also use this Wolfram Alpha and to increase your vocabulary and find out interesting words that rhymes with particular word. Okay. As a last thing, let me show you one more example. For example, let me say human heart and arteries. If you are in biology, you can also get all the information from here, and it will also give you the pictures and, you know, all the information. It will take some time to load. Yeah, and so on. A lot of information. You can also use this for the chemical reactions. You know, sometimes you have to do the titration in chemistry. So if you write down the equation, it will also help you, and it will give you all the relevant information. There's one more thing actually from this Wolfram, which is a programming lab. Actually, it's a free version of Mathematica. You know, if you don't have Mathematica, you know, because it's a paid version, you can also go to the programming lab. And this is actually a very nice starting point if you want to learn some programming, because the Wolfram, actually the programming language is very simple, and it is like an English language. So if you simply go to start programming now, no sign in required, and you can do so many interesting things actually. I don't have much time, but I could have shown you. But for example, you can also make colors. Start from beginning. So you can do so many interesting things, you know, RGB colors, and, you know, you can also make the different color space. Let's say, you know, the hue and things. So if you simply press enter, shift enter, they will give you this red color and so on. So basically at the back end, you know, there's a mathematics involved. So you can see the mathematics is very powerful. You know, it is being used in every single domain of the real life. So even if you want to do, of course, the programming is, you know, at the back end, the algorithm is essentially a programming. And so you can see also it is quite powerful tool, also a tool for you to learn interesting things. So I really recommend you to explore this thing. If I go back and I can show you interesting things. For example, you can also make these kind of words and cities and so on. Okay, but I think you get the idea. I would recommend you to explore these things. So since we don't have much time, let me stop here. Otherwise, I had a plan to do some mathematical activity on here, but let's move on. Where were we? So it's already 5:30, by the way. Sorry, it's already 5:30, yes. And we have two more things actually. One is the Desmos application. So Desmos is the same thing as GeoGebra, but I can say it's more easy to comprehend. So if you have a children, maybe, or if you maybe for your friends or for your sisters and brothers, you can also recommend Desmos application. It does the same thing as GeoGebra, but GeoGebra is more versatile. There's too much more option. In Desmos, there's less option, but it's a very nicely and it's a very simple tool to work on. Okay, so there are some tools for teachers, for students also. So let me move on, because I was having a plan to do some activity on Desmos, but maybe for the next time if we happen to meet. Integration by parts. Yeah, so this was the last thing I wanted to show. Actually, let me do it now, maybe because this was the request by some of the students. So let me do it for you. I'm sorry, it might take maybe 10 more minutes But since this is the last session, so I think it's okay for you guys, right? Yeah. So let's do the integration by parts. Maybe very quickly, I will give you a quick introduction what it is and so on. So the thing is that when you say the integration by parts, sometime, if you have two functions, let's say x and e to the power x. So these are product, they are being multiplied with each other, and we have no idea how to integrate them. So this is like a product tool for integration. So essentially the product tool says that, let me derive it for you. So let's start with the functions u and v, and u times v. So let's find the derivative. So we all know the product rule for u and v. So it's going to be u times v prime plus v times u prime. And now let's take the integration. Both sides. So like this will become uv, because the derivative, this is the derivative, and integrals, they are somehow opposite. Sorry. So this is going to be uv, and this will become again u times v prime plus v times u prime. And if you arrange this thing, this equation, so this will become u v prime integral equal this guy on the right hand side. Yeah. So this is actually the equation, the integration by parts, which is given in most of the books. And but actually, what I like most is replace v prime with some other function. So let's say v prime equals, let's say, w. So once the v prime is w, let me change it to u times w then, because then you don't have to worry about the derivative of a function. So you can simply integrate to any two functions. So u times w, and this is going to be, since v prime is w, and then that means that v is going to be the integral of w, right? So that means this equation would be changed to u times the integral of w minus, here we have again this u, this v. So I'm going to simply replace this again with the integral of w and times u prime. So this is actually how we can use the integration by parts to integrate any function. So just a quick example. I'm sorry, I'm rushing because of the time limitation. So let's try to integrate this function very quickly. So x times e to the power x and dx. So to integrate, I'm going to write, this is the first function and this is the second function. So according to the formula, I'm going to write the first function as it is, and then I'm going to multiply with the integral of the second function, which is the integral of e to the power x is the same thing, e to the power x minus, and then I'm going to write the same thing here, this integral of w. So it is going to be the e to the power x again, and times the derivative of the first function, which is, so in this case the derivative of the first function is 1, so it is going to be 1 here, dx. And x times e to the power x minus, you have to integrate this again. So the integral of e to the power x is e to the power x, and that's it. Let's see. So let me stop here because it's already 3:38 and 3:40. But if you need more help or clarification for any concept, do let me know. I mean, I'm still here for next maybe 20 minutes. So if you have some questions and something, you can of course approach me. But before we go, I just really want you to join this quizzes. This is a game, and there are 21 questions. It's like a very, very quick question. You don't have to spend more time. So I want you to join this quiz right now, and it will take maybe 5 or 10 minutes more. So once you are finished, then we are going to summarize our today's session. Okay. So please, everyone, do join this quizzes. So if you're using your mobile phone or your computer, just simply open a browser and type this joinmyquiz.com and Yeah, I'm sorry. I think there was a glitch again. So it restarted, I guess. So do you see my screen? No. Let me show you the screen again. So please do so. Here is the screen, and let me even share. Yeah, can you please go to this website and type this, and we can play this game right now. Let me see who is still here, who is here or not. Okay, I think you have to, there was a problem, so I have to share the screen. Yeah. Like this. Yeah, can you join again? You know, and this time the code is 063204. Okay. All right. So while you are joining, let me actually. Is that? Yeah. I'm going to turn off the recording. Okay, guys, by the way, so thank you very much for being with me for these 5 sessions. It was really fun and engaging sessions for me, at least. And I really hope that you also learned something. And I'm also hoping that maybe in future we might be having a chance to meet again, maybe at some point, in some way. So thank you again for joining us, and let me stop the recording right now.